What up, everybody, man? It's the prolific Tay. We back at it, man. You know, what I wanted to really give to individuals is different ways that I've learned about the money game, like building wealth, but also business, a little mix of both. They kind of intertwine, right? I do my best to stick to my lane, but I am learning a little bit more about how to get the bag and how to like build on the bag and how to flip the bag and invest to where the bag is going to keep growing and you don't got to worry about falling off later down the road. And I think that's extremely important, just especially with my culture and the importance of financial literacy and the lack thereof in the educational system. So I want to make sure that we have those type of things and that our younger generation can see what we're doing, right? And it's on us to teach them the things that we want to do. So there's books that I've read even when I was inside, when I was locked up, because even though I didn't have no money at that time, I wanted to be prepared for the day I got money because I knew one day I was going to have it, right? But I didn't want it. The worst thing you can do is to get money and not be prepared to have money because you just squander money. There's a quote, I forgot what wealthy person that said it, but he said if somebody was to give you $1,000,000 and you're not a millionaire yet, you better become one. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that again. If somebody was to give you $1,000,000, you're not a millionaire yet, you better become one. What he meant by that was if you're getting $1,000,000, somebody gives you $1,000,000, you're about to become a millionaire. The best thing that you can do is learn the ways of a millionaire, the thought processes, the ways they invest, the ways they utilize their money and stuff like that, right? So these are 5 books that help me understand the financial game and a bit of my approaches to business. Let's get it cracking, bro. Number 1, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a little beat up. It came from prison. This is back. I had this book back in like 2016. So that's almost a decade ago. But I keep this little jewel with me. Every once in a while, I open that joint up, right? It's written in an old style. I forgot, like some kind of BC time it was put out, right? It was supposed to be staged in that era. But it's about this individual that started off as a poor boy, right? And it has different stories throughout the chapters at this man in different points of his life, and some other people telling the accounts of his life or whatnot. But it's how he became the richest man in Babylon, right? One of the big things that stood out to me was how it says a principle. This is why I start with everybody. Is pay yourself first, right? When I say that, initially people don't understand what I mean by that. Is when I say pay yourself first. I'm gonna let that sit with you guys for a quick second. Pay yourself first. What does that mean? Okay, I see Nicole said, I love that book. Well, Nicole, comment what pay yourself first means, man. Tell me what pay yourself first means as we go. For people that missed this part. But pay yourself first, what it means is put away money for your own savings before you go pay everybody else. When you get your money, you go do everything else. You go pay your rent, you go pay your bills, you go buy some shoes, you go buy a blunt, you go buy a bottle, you go buy all these other things, but you don't put nothing into your account till last. We go spend everything before we put something in our savings account or our investments account. That's not the way to go. You get what I'm saying? The best way that you want to handle it is as soon as you get your money. This is what I remember when I first got out. I stacked my first $1,000 by doing this. I put it says 1/10, no less than 1/10. I put 20% away immediately when I get my money. I immediately put 20% away in my savings account, right? You could even set this up with your job. Usually you can set this up with your job to where automatically they take 20% and put it into your savings account. You won't even know. And the thing about it, you would think that you need it. What you'll start to understand, especially when you have it automatic, you didn't really need it at all. You won't even notice it's gone, right? And before you know it, you look and be like, oh, shoot, I got however many thousands of dollars stacked in this account. I didn't even remember, right? I didn't even know. But the art of paying yourself first is essential. You have to develop that habit of putting money away for yourself initially, right? Before everybody else, before you go pay the liquor store, before you go pay the bud man, before you go pay the wherever you might shop, Nike, whoever, before you go do everything else, make sure that you put money to yourself first, and that money's gonna stack. So that's one big thing that Richest Man in Babylon has. So many other ways that it teaches stuff, the 5 laws of gold, how to like invest in, and it's taught in a story mode. So it's really hella comprehensive, and you'll be able to take it in. Again, pay yourself first. The next book, let me look down. Okay, come on, man. I see you. I do that with my job. Yep. I do that. I do that with my job. Come on, that's what you're supposed to do, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So look, we got another one. The one thing. The one thing, right? It's another one that came from the joint, bro. It's I got this book back in 2018. I think it was 2018. I got the one thing, right? It was a book that was recommended by a different book. So the one thing is about focusing on what is essential and moving whatever that you got to do forward. So we operate under this false narrative that we can multitask efficiently. First of all, multitasking, the whole point of that was built for computers to be able to operate multiple things at one time. The human brain can't comprehensively do that. That's scientifically proven, right? But we think that if we're multitaskers, then we're hella dope, and you're not doing anything if at 100% if you're doing a bunch of things at the same time, right? Now, what I want to say that it taught me here was this thing called geometrical progression. It sounds crazy, right? Again, geometrical progression. It means how a train can start off super slow. You know, it's like chugga, chugga, chugga. I don't know if they still make chugga, chugga sounds or not, but I'm just using what I know. Right? It goes chugga, chugga, chugga. It's going real slow at first. And then as you know, you don't really realize it's picking up speed until it's going so fast that nothing can stop it. That's geometrical progression, right? So what it's saying is once you focus on these one things, right, you're looking at it and you're like, all right, I'm going after this. I'm going after this. And it starts matching it with this other book called The Compound Effect. And it starts to compound. Your progress starts to compound. It's like this. You start off with that little business, right? You're going in at it. You're doing it. You're going. That's that little business. And you might get a sale here. You might get a sale next week. You get a sale, But next, you got 4 sales next week. Then it's 10 sales next week. Then it's 1,000 sales. Then it's 1,000,000. And then before I know it, all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, that 7 months or a year, 5 years of work became an overnight success. You get what I'm saying? No, what it is if we first started, it was extremely slow that people didn't even pay attention like that, right? Until they started seeing a little bit of motion, and then it was going so hard that people were like, oh shit, what's going on? How did that even happen? That's geometrical progression. And that's what you can do when you focus on one thing and allow the successes to compound, right? And I want to break that down a little bit. When I say focus on one thing, I mean, what are the top 3 things that you want to get done this year? So if you can do all 3, what is the main thing that you would focus on that can push all the rest of this forward? What is the one thing that you can do, right? That'll require, say, 20% of whatever it is, the 80-20 rule, forgive me, that could make 80% of your results. You get what I'm saying? Like, so for example, I got in Pro Say Potential, which is the primary business. I got Pro Say Prolific, which is the community that we're building, and then I got Prolific Tay, which is my personal brand. Well, if I focus on Pro Say Potential, everything else is going to build with it. Prolific Tay is going to build with it. Prolific community is going to build with it, because it's such a strong platform that it's gonna wane off to everything else and grow it, right? So that's what I mean, is like, that's the main focus. The other things kind of get worked on after that. So you find out what is the one thing that's gonna push everything further and faster and harder, right? That's the goal, to get that geometrical progression and keep it pushing, right? So again, that's called The One Thing. Check that book out. It really helped me out a lot. All right, the next one, a lot of people understand this one. It's called Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50, man. Listen, I feel like a lot of people, hold on, wait, I see Raven. Raven, what's up, man? I tried to text your phone and tap in with you and check on you, man. I got the green thing, man. Tap in with me. Make sure you send it. I got some opportunities for you. Tap in. My bad, man. But look, let's get back to it. So Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. This is a 50 Cent book. People sleep on my guy 50 because they feel like he just was a gangster rapper. They heard he had filed for bankruptcy, which was actually a dope business move. Trump even did it. People don't understand business like that, so they don't get the move that he made was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? This book is essential. It's essential. I promise you. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. It got so many things that it's like dealing with fear, going in there without fear. Excuse me. Evolve or die. Evolve or die. There's so many tactics in this book about business that it'll blow your mind. But the big thing that stuck out to me was evolve or die. In this book, he talks about how Lloyd Banks, one of the people that was a member on G-Unit, for the people that might be too young to really remember G-Unit, you know what I'm saying? But Lloyd Banks was like one of the hottest lyricists going besides Fab. He was beast, right? Punchline, I would say almost the punchline king, bro. Lloyd Banks is smooth with it, bro. Right? You know, so and I got L Rock, he agreed with me. That's the rap, that's the rap dog, right? The rap guy right there. So look, yeah. Come on. The Lloyd Banks fan. Like, so what he said was he approached Lloyd Banks and was like, hey, look, everything's going up with social media. You need to get serious on your Instagram account, get serious on your Facebook, whatever. And Lloyd Banks is like, nah, I mean, I'll get to it. I don't care about that pretty much. And 50 was like, you need to do it. He didn't want to do it. 50 went ahead and got it popping. As you see, 50 got however many millions of followers ever going on, and he's propelled. Banks didn't do it, and he kind of fell off. We haven't heard of him no more. You feel what I'm saying? But 50 had been told him, get on this social media wave because it's coming, right? The way that I applied this stuff into my businesses with Pro Save Potential, I think, matter of fact, I think my business just logged on. My business just joined the live. You feel what I'm saying? We're heavy on the social media. I'm heavy on the social media because I understand this is how you're going to evolve and connect to people around the world and the people you're trying to connect to. If you don't have a social media strategy within whatever that you're doing, if you're trying to reach more people and build your business, expand whatever, you're already at a disadvantage. And that goes for any ways of evolving. You have to be looking down the field. You have to be standing right here in the field at the moment, but looking down the field like a quarterback. You know what I mean? You got to be sitting here with the ball right here, like, okay, I'm in this moment, dodge, move, but I'm looking straight down to see how I can get that touchdown. How can I move this? And it might be tossed into to the receiver, or it might be me having to dip that and run over into it. But how do I get this touchdown? But you got to look down the field to see what's going on and still remain in the moment. But if you don't evolve, you will die. The most unnatural thing is to not evolve. If you're not evolving, you are dying. You are dead. Nothing floats but dead bodies. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, the big thing for me with that hustle harder, hustle smarter is to evolve or die, bro. I seen little bro hop on, man. What's up, Mario? I see you popped on there. Toddy said, geez, you net. You feel me? Pride is definitely a business killer. Pride is definitely a business killer, right? Because people will get that inflated sense of pride and cockiness, and it'll drive them down, and they'll be humbled in a sad way. So look, this one came out as a surprise, bro. I think I got this from a podcast, but it's the CEO of Disney, Robert Iger. I hope I said that right. The Ride of a Lifetime. Woo. You know, I really don't like reading biography books like that. You know what I mean? Forgive me, not biography. I guess it's not biography, but it's like documentary type books, whatever the case may be. But the way that he was able to intertwine his life and his climb to be the CEO of Disney with practical business lessons was beautiful. I've never seen it spent around like this, right? The Ride of a Lifetime is the lesson learned from 15 years of CEO at the Walt Disney Company. A huge thing I took from that book, because, you know, Disney's a mammoth, right? Like, when you study that, like, just the gems that rain down, and you could apply to anything as you go, right? But I really admired the way that he climbed. The man started off as like he worked his way to like a broadcaster for a sports thing with ABC, something like a real menial position, right? And he worked his way all the way up to CEO of Disney. You get what I'm saying? And there's a whole story in between that. But the key point of what he did was he added value. He found ways to stand out and stick out and add value and get around the right people. If you could do these two things, if you could get around the right people and find ways to add value, I kid you not, your success is you are guaranteed success, whatever you do. If you know how to get into the right rooms and the right environment around the right individuals that can get you where you need to get to, and you find ways to add something to what they're doing, I promise you, your success is locked in. And that's what he did. I watched, and it goes to my story. I started off as I was an outreach worker. I took a $7 pay cut to be an outreach worker, but I knew if I could get in the right rooms, I could make things happen. I met up with, I had a code network from probation officers to other executive directors that I tapped in with, and I held classes for them. I facilitated classes for them. I contracted with them, do every other things. I took leadership positions that other people didn't want to do. I worked with kids some people didn't want to work with. But I knew that if I added that kind of value, I was around the right people and I would stand out. And then now you see the success I'm living right now because of it. And a lot of those people that I tapped in with now, I mean, back then, are still helping me in certain ways, or they're mentoring me, or I'm even mentoring some of them. on how to build their stuff out. But what I did was I got myself in the right rooms and I added value to what they had going on. That's one big thing that book tapped in with me. The other one's more intricate in the business about mergers and partnerships, which is something that we'll dive into in another video when it goes like the more intricacies of doing business. But I promise you, get in the right rooms, add the value, and you'll excel up there. That should be the two things you should be working on right now. Getting with the right people and adding value to those people that you're able to tap in with, right? Now, the next one, Ryan Serhant, Big Money Energy. Come on, doesn't that title alone? Big Money Energy. I kid you not, man. That was in our book club, man. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. Big Money Energy by Ryan Serhant. I got this from a book club, man. We have this group called the Book Club. My brothers is in there, man. Big shout out to Jalil. Big shout out to Darius. Big shout out to Mo. Big shout out to Gary, man. They're all doing large things, big things. But it's big money energy, man. And it talks you how to dominate in life, money, and business. And one thing that it showed me about is just really thinking big. Like if you think you're thinking big, think bigger, right? Your vision and your goals for your business and the amount of wealth you want to reach should be so large that it scares you. That you're like, I got this thing, this quote that I'll take. Everybody probably said it before, but I say it's mine, right? Where I say that your vision should be so big and massive to where the little things that you do to accomplish it, it looks marvelous and magnificent to everybody else. Again, your vision should be so big that the little things that you have to do to accomplish it looks magnificent to everybody else. Right? So it taught me to really think bigger and larger on a larger scale when it comes to dealing with the wealth that I want to have and the business that I want to build and how I want to approach this stuff. Big money energy is a big thing. It helped me out a lot. Another thing that it taught me was the 1,000-minute rule. This is one I want you guys to really, I suggest you take a note of this, right? Because I didn't really learn this until I started studying these type of books. But the 1,000-minute rule, this is how all wealthy people think. Now, I'm saying there's a difference between rich and wealthy. I might add a bonus in that at the end if I got time. But the 1,000-minute rule, I think he said there's 1,440 minutes in a day, right? And I think he said 440 minutes is sleeping and maybe playing with your kids or effing off, whatever the case may be, right? So you got 1,000 minutes. That's like having $1,000 in your bank. If you had $1,000 in your bank, right? If you're really on some hustle stuff, some people could be on some bum stuff, but I think that if you're in this live right now, you're a boss, right? If you're a boss in this live, man, please comment boss, because I want to make sure I'm not talking to nothing but bosses right here. I see a couple bosses in there. If you're a boss, please comment boss for me, man, because this is some boss shit I'm about to give you guys right now, and I promise you, the way that I set up my life right now, it's working for me with that 1,000-minute rule. Okay, so look, the 1,000-minute rule goes like this. Okay, big boss, Leash, I see you. So you have 1,000 minutes, which is $1,000 in your bank account. 1,000 minutes in your bank account. You want to make sure that every single, because the other 440 minutes are getting fucked off. You want to make sure that every single minute is being put into something that's going to buy you back more minutes in the future. You get what I'm saying? So every single minute has to be driving something forward, creating something for the masses, adding value for something else. It has to be something that's pertinent to your vision and your goals. Okay? I see boss, Toddy, boss, Leash, the biggest. Let's go. So I hope you guys are writing this down. That 1,000 minutes is quintessential to your success. Wealthy people think of time as their money. And a lot of us say time is money, but we don't really get that because we spend 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. Listen, bro, I could probably tell you the amount of time I spend watching TV if it's not something that's building towards the business. And the people that know me personally know that. You feel what I'm saying? I barely watch TV, especially shows, especially movies. I'm always studying something. If you catch me watching a show, it's because I dedicated a certain amount of time to that. That's in the 440 minutes. But every waking moment from 5 a.m. to the point I lay down, you feel me? Unless I've planned that 440 minutes, is about how can I progress? How can I build? Because your time is equivalent to your money. And every time you spend that hour, that's $60 out that bitch. You spend 2-3 hours, that's $180 out of that bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's all that money coming out of your bank. That's all the minutes coming out of your bank. Now imagine if you spent that 1,000 minutes only building out your business, going and putting out content, creating content, going and reading and studying things that's going to be quintessential to you elevating to the next level. Imagine if you spent that 1,000 minutes taking yourself to a point where you don't have to worry about, damn, man, I gotta go. This money's gonna come out. I gotta spend this money, and I don't know how the next money's coming. Or I don't know. I want to go on this vacation, but I gotta make sure I gotta go take this time off, and it's gonna be. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this because I can only go for a couple of days because I have to go do. Imagine just being free of all that, right? The way that you could do that is you use that 1,000 minutes to figure out how to do that, because it's possible. It's definitely possible, bro. You get what I'm saying? So you really want to listen to that 1,000 minutes and make sure that you are investing and reinvesting it appropriately. That is probably one of the most important things, because if you look at that, if you take that one thing, that 1,000 minutes, and you use that, and reading these other books can be in that 1,000 minutes, and the other part of, you say 2 hours reading 1 or 2 of these other books, right? And then you use that to apply the other 2 hours, applying what you learned in these other books, and then you use the other 2 hours to review what you've learned in those other books, and then use the other 2 hours to recapture again and doing them again. Look what you just did for that 1,000 minutes. You just studied some stuff, you just applied some stuff, got some benefits from it, reviewed what didn't work and what did work, reapplied it, got even more better results, and then you went and studied something like, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So I want you guys to understand how to really think about your 1,000 minutes and utilize it to your best ability. You get what I'm saying? And so, you know, one thing my guy had pointed out to me, the last book, and you guys know about it, I'm gonna tap in with you, was my book, the second book I wrote, forgive me, man, it's Prolific Hustle, How to Turn Your Pain to Passion and Profits. How to turn your pain to passion and profits, man. It's about how do you flip your pain into your passion and make a profit from it, because no tear should go unpaid for. No tear should ever go unpaid for. Make sure that you're figuring out your pain points and where it hurt at and how to help somebody else get through that problem or solve that problem. My bad. My go conquer the day. Look, I'll show you guys this. My thing be saying go conquer the day. That's kind of stuff I get. You feel what I'm saying? But look though, how to take that pain, turn it to your passion, and get some money up out of it, because we go through too much pain for no reason, and we got to get paid from it, all right? So look, I'm going to run through these books again. We got Ryan Serhant, Big Money Energy. And all these people, make sure you follow him on Instagram and follow him. I promise you, feed that to your mind. Big Money Energy, man. That's going to teach you about the 1,000 minute rule. Quintessential, I'm telling you. If you don't listen to anything else, listen to that. The next one, The Ride of a Lifetime. The Ride of a Lifetime, how to climb that ladder officially, find people that add value to and add value to them. The CEO of Disney, he's a mammoth out here. 50 Cent, work smarter, work harder. Evolve or die. Evolve or die. Figure out the ways to stand like the quarterback right here and move your team forward. Look what's coming for you. What's ahead? What's right there? We got The Richest Man in Babylon. Pay yourself first. Put 10 to 20% of your money away immediately, or automated from your work. Tell them you want 20%. Excuse me. You want 20% to go straight to your account. You won't miss it. You'll adapt to it. The one thing, focus on the one major thing that you need to push your business, your profession, whatever forward, and go for that geometrical progress that's too slow for people to notice till it's too fast to be stopped. I kid you not, man. You get those books, you study those books, apply, study, apply those books. You're going to be extremely successful, man. When I drop them on YouTube, I'll make sure you guys, if you're part of the broadcast channel, you guys know immediately when the YouTube. If you're not a part of the broadcast channel, I suggest you go to my link on my bio, join the broadcast channel. They get exclusive updates on what's going on with me and what's going on with us and how to build that future to where you want to get it to. Get those books, get in the description, make it happen, stay focused, be prolific. Let's go.